Anna Mitchell had always been quiet. She was not the kind of woman who demanded attention or made waves. In the suburban sprawl of Cedar Hills, Ohio, she blended in perfectly. A tidy home, a neat yard, and a daughter who smiled on cue for school photos. But beneath the calm surface, Anna had been carrying a storm for years, one she had tried to ignore, one that grew heavier with each passing day. Her daughter, Lily, was 8, bright, curious, and impossibly kind. She loved drawing superheroes and dreaming up fantastical worlds where she was always safe. But the real world, as Anna painfully knew, was far less forgiving. It started subtly. The first time Anna saw the faint bruise on Lily's arm, she hesitated. Maybe she imagined it. Children got bumps and scrapes all the time. But when Lily flinched as a neighbor's dog barked, Anna remembered the way Mark, her husband's friend from work who had been staying with them temporarily, had shouted that morning. Mark Hayes was charming when he wanted to be, a tall man, broad-shouldered, with a smile that could fool anyone. Most people in town thought he was helpful, trustworthy even. But Anna had seen glimpses of something darker, the way his voice could turn sharp in an instant, the way he would corner her, his eyes cold and calculating. Anna had tried to convince herself it was harmless, that he was just stressed, that perhaps Lily had provoked a harmless scolding. But the bruises kept appearing. The flinches grew more pronounced. Lily stopped laughing as much. That Thursday, Anna came home from her part-time job at the local library to find Lily sitting on the couch, clutching her arm. The bruise was purple and ugly, unmistakable. "Lily?" Anna's voice trembled. I fell," Lily whispered, but her eyes told another story. Anna knew, and in that instant, something inside her shifted. There was no hesitation, no doubt. She could not, would not, let this continue. She spent the night awake, watching Lily sleep. The gentle rise and fall of her chest, the soft sighs, and the way her small hands twitched as if dreaming of safety. Anna felt a primal surge of protective instinct she had never known existed. She would protect her daughter, no matter what it took. The next morning, Anna began her plan. She had to be smart. She had to be meticulous. First, she set up small security cameras around the house, careful to place them in corners where Mark might act aggressively. She tested them, ensuring they captured clear audio. Then she started documenting everything: bruises, flinches, whispered confessions from Lily. Every incident was carefully logged with dates and times. Anna knew she needed proof, concrete, undeniable proof that could stand up if it ever came to a confrontation. At work, she researched self-defense courses for children. She found a local dojo and enrolled Lily immediately. Every afternoon, Lily practiced kicks, punches, and escape techniques. At first, Lily protested, saying she did not want to fight anyone. But Anna reminded her gently, "We're learning to protect ourselves. That's brave." Meanwhile, Mark remained oblivious. Or perhaps he was simply arrogant, believing that no one would suspect him. Anna played the role of the perfect hostess, serving him dinner, smiling politely, nodding along as he told stories from work. But behind that polite exterior, her mind was always calculating, always vigilant. One evening, Anna overheard Mark raising his voice at Lily over something trivial, her drawing, a spilled glass of juice. Anna's stomach churned. She crept closer to the living room, hiding behind the doorway. "I told you not to make a mess, stupid girl!" Mark's voice was sharp, loud. Lily flinched. Her small hands went to cover her face. Anna's heart pounded. She wanted to scream. She wanted to grab him, to shake him until he understood. But she stayed silent. She had to wait. She had to catch him. And she did. A week later, Mark's aggression escalated again. He pushed Lily against the wall after she dropped a plate. Anna had already placed a camera in that corner. She recorded the entire confrontation. Later, she replayed it, her hands trembling. The bruises were evident. Lily's fear was evident. Mark's control over their lives was undeniable. Anna knew then that this could not be resolved quietly. She could not rely on neighbors or the police, not yet. She had to take matters into her own hands, but with precision and with cunning. The stakes were too high, and the cost of failure too great. Her mind raced with possibilities. Every option carried risk, and every plan had potential consequences. But one thought remained constant. Lily's safety was worth anything, and everything, even the risk of her own life. Anna spent nights studying Mark's routines, noting when he drank, when he was alone, and when he let his guard down. She memorized his habits like a hawk watches prey. She learned his weaknesses, impatience, and pride, and arrogance. And as the days passed, Anna transformed. She was not just a quiet librarian anymore. She became a strategist, a protector, a force of nature fueled by love and desperation. In Cedar Hills, the suburban calm of neatly trimmed lawns and white picket fences hid a dangerous secret. In one house, a mother was preparing to go to any lengths to protect her child. And the storm was just beginning. The days in Cedar Hills carried on with the usual suburban rhythm. Kids on their bicycles, sprinklers hissing in the summer sun, and neighbors gossiping politely over white picket fences. But inside the Mitchell home, a quiet war was being waged. Anna moved through the house with a precision that only desperation could give. Every corner was watched, every sound noted, every step calculated. Lily continued her self-defense classes, and Anna watched her daughter's transformation with a mixture of pride and sorrow. She hated that her little girl had to learn to fight, but she also knew that this knowledge might be what kept her alive one day. "Mom," Lily said one afternoon, wiping sweat from her brow after a particularly grueling session, "do you think he'll ever stop?" Anna crouched down and looking her daughter in the eyes. She forced a calm, steady smile. "He can't not hurt you anymore, Lily. Not while I'm here." Lily nodded, trusting her mother's words, though the shadow of fear lingered behind her bright eyes. Meanwhile, Mark remained oblivious, or perhaps purposefully blind, to the fact that Anna had changed. He continued his routine, coming home late from work with a tired smile, drinking too much, making small remarks that carried heavy undertones of control. But Anna was always 2 steps ahead. She documented every conversation, every incident, every subtle sign of aggression. She had learned to stay calm under provocation, to play the perfect host while secretly planning how to end the nightmare once and for all. One evening, Anna overheard Mark muttering to himself after drinking a few beers. His words were careless but revealing. "She thinks she's clever. I'll show her." Anna's heart skipped a beat, but she remained composed. This was the confirmation she needed. He recognized her intelligence, her awareness, and that awareness was now a weapon. She began to rehearse her responses, her movements, every scenario that might unfold. She made sure Lily was safe in her room, practicing her escape plans quietly. Anna even moved furniture strategically, creating barriers and safe zones, practicing where she could corner Mark if necessary, all without raising suspicion. Days turned into weeks, and Anna's transformation became more pronounced. She no longer hesitated when making decisions. She was decisive, efficient, and unflinchingly focused. Friends and neighbors noticed a change in her demeanor. Quiet, almost stoic, but with an underlying intensity that made people step back slightly. Anna's plan was meticulous. She had considered every variable, from Mark's unpredictable temper to the possibility of neighbors hearing a confrontation. She had rehearsed multiple scenarios, each one designed to protect Lily while neutralizing Mark's threat permanently. But what weighed heaviest on Anna was the emotional toll. She could not allow herself to falter. Fear was a luxury she could not afford. She reminded herself daily, the only thing that mattered was Lily. One Friday evening, Mark returned home earlier than usual. He had been drinking, his gait unsteady, his temper frayed. Anna noticed immediately the subtle signs, the tension in his shoulders, the way his jaw tightened, the sharpness in his tone. "Where's Lily?" he demanded, his voice a dangerous mix of irritation and authority. "She's in her room, practicing her reading," Anna said calmly, her voice steady, betraying nothing. Mark scowled but did not push further. He collapsed into the living room chair, opening a beer, muttering complaints about work. Anna observed him silently, noting his patterns, waiting for the inevitable slip that would give her the confirmation she needed for action. Later that night, Lily came to Anna's room, unable to sleep. "Mom, he was scary tonight," she whispered, her small body trembling. Anna wrapped her arms around her daughter. "I know, sweetie, I know. But we're ready. We're safe. I promise." The next day, Anna executed the first part of her plan. She discreetly alerted the authorities, not naming Mark outright, but indicating that her daughter had been in potential danger and that she had documented evidence. It was a precautionary move, designed to establish a record without escalating the situation prematurely. Mark, of course, noticed nothing. He was overconfident, underestimating Anna's resolve. Over the next week, Anna intensified her preparations. She installed a final set of cameras, focusing on areas where confrontation was most likely. She created multiple escape routes for herself and Lily, rehearsing them daily. She stocked up on essentials, ensuring that if Mark attempted to control their movements, they could remain independent for days. The tension reached its peak one evening when Mark cornered Lily over a minor mistake, a spilled glass of juice in the kitchen. Anna, watching from a distance, felt a familiar surge of adrenaline. She waited, heart pounding, as Mark's voice grew louder and harsher. He grabbed Lily's arm, shaking her slightly. "Stop it, Mark!" Anna's voice cut through the room, calm but commanding. He turned, startled, and for the first time, he saw the look in Anna's eyes, a quiet, unwavering determination. "You need to back off," she said, stepping closer. Mark laughed, a cold, dismissive sound. "Or what?" Anna did not answer immediately. She simply gestured toward the cameras she had installed, the notebooks documenting every incident, and the carefully hidden phone ready to call for help. "Or the truth comes out," she said softly. Mark hesitated, his arrogance clashing with the reality before him. For a moment, the air was thick with tension. Anna's presence, her meticulous preparation, and her unwavering gaze created a pressure he had not anticipated. In that moment, Anna realized that the battle was no longer about words or threats. It was about control. And she was no longer willing to let him have it. The following days were a delicate dance. Anna maintained her calm exterior, preparing for the final confrontation that she knew was inevitable. She taught Lily to stay calm, to follow escape routes, and to trust her mother's instructions without question. The bond between them deepened, forged in fire, in fear, and in the shared understanding that danger was real and immediate. Anna's mind never rested. Every moment was a calculation. Mark's drinking patterns, his work schedule, his emotional triggers. She knew the moment to act would come, and when it did, she would be ready. And then, one evening, it finally happened. Mark returned home later than usual, slamming the front door. He had been drinking heavily, his words slurred, his mood volatile. Anna was ready. She had already positioned herself, the cameras recording, the house prepared for a confrontation. Lily was in her room, following the plan they had rehearsed. Mark's eyes, bloodshot and wild, fell on Anna. "Where's my dinner?" he demanded. Anna met his gaze steadily. "We need to talk," she said. Mark laughed, a sound filled with scorn. "Talk? What are you gonna do? Call the cops?" Anna's lips pressed into a firm line. She gestured toward the cameras. "I already did. And if you try anything, it will be on record." Mark's expression flickered, a brief glimpse of fear before he masked it with anger. He stepped forward, trying to intimidate her. Anna stood her ground, every muscle tense, every sense alert. For a long, heart-stopping moment, neither moved. Then Anna spoke, her voice low and unwavering. "This ends tonight. No more threats, no more fear. Not for Lily, and not for me. You choose your next step carefully." Mark hesitated, the reality of his position settling in. He was no longer the one in control. Anna had prepared for this moment with precision, patience, and a fierce, unbreakable love. And for the first time, Mark realized that his power over this family was gone. The night settled over Cedar Hills like a heavy blanket, quiet and ordinary to anyone passing by. But inside the Mitchell house, tension hung thick in the air, each tick of the clock magnifying the inevitable confrontation. Anna had prepared for this night for weeks, every detail rehearsed, every scenario considered. She was calm, focused, and terrifying in her composure. Mark stumbled into the kitchen, reeking of alcohol, his gait uneven. He slammed a bottle down on the counter, sending it clattering. "Where's my dinner?" he slurred, his eyes scanning the dimly lit room. Anna did not flinch. Her eyes met his steadily, unwavering. "Mark," she said quietly, "we need to talk about Lily." Mark laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. "Talk? What are you gonna do? Call the cops?" "I've already done that," Anna said, gesturing slightly toward the living room where cameras silently recorded every corner of the house. "Everything you've done is documented." Mark's face twisted in irritation. "Documented? You're crazy." Anna took a deep breath. "I'm not crazy. I'm a mother protecting her child." Mark advanced a step, leaning toward her, trying to intimidate. But Anna had anticipated this. Her hand subtly reached for the phone on the counter, ready to call for backup if necessary. But she did not move it yet. "I'm done playing," Anna said, her voice steady. "Tonight, you either leave or things happen." Mark laughed again, mocking, but the edge in her voice made him hesitate. He tried to scoff, but it sounded hollow. Anna had thought about this moment endlessly. How to make him realize he had lost control. How to protect Lily without resorting to irreparable violence. She had rehearsed every move, every word, and every angle to ensure that the outcome favored her daughter's safety above all. She stepped closer to him, careful, precise, and Mark flinched slightly. The confidence in her movements unnerved him. For the first time, he realized that his usual tactics, shouting, intimidation, threats, no longer worked. He was not in control anymore. "You've pushed this too far," Anna continued. "I would not let you hurt her. Not ever again." Mark's arrogance battled with fear in his eyes. He had always believed that Anna was passive, that he could manipulate, intimidate, and dominate without consequence. But he miscalculated. The quiet storm in front of him was unstoppable. Anna slowly moved to block the path between him and Lily's room. She was calm, but inside, adrenaline surged. She was ready for anything. Her body was tense, alert, prepared for physical action if necessary. "Mom?" Lily's small voice came from the doorway. She had been listening, hidden behind the frame, watching her mother stand tall. "I'm scared." Anna smiled gently, though her jaw was tight. "I know, sweetie, but you're safe. Stay there. Watch and learn. This is how courage looks." Mark, meanwhile, started pacing, muttering under his breath. He was trying to regain the upper hand, but Anna anticipated every movement. She had set traps, not physical, but psychological. She knew his patterns, his weaknesses, his need to dominate. She used them against him. "You think you're clever," he spat. "But Stop!" Anna interrupted sharply. "I'm done listening to your excuses. You've had your chance. This is your last warning." Mark's anger flared, but it was mixed with something new: uncertainty. For the first time, he recognized the risk he had underestimated for months. Anna moved closer again, her eyes locked on his. She exuded calm authority, every inch of her posture signaling that she was unbreakable. She was not bluffing. The house, the cameras, the careful planning, all of it made her untouchable in this moment. Mark lunged, a desperate attempt to intimidate or strike, but Anna sidestepped with precise timing, guided by weeks of rehearsed scenarios. He stumbled, losing his balance. In that instant, Anna moved decisively, grabbing his arm and redirecting him away from Lily's room, keeping him contained without inflicting harm. "Look at me, Mark," Anna said firmly. "You do not touch her. You do not touch me. You are done." Mark's breathing was heavy. He was furious, embarrassed, trapped by the undeniable truth that he had lost control. The fear in his eyes was a new experience for him. Anna did not relax. She kept her grip firm, steady, guiding him toward the living room where the camera feed could document everything. She was not just protecting Lily physically, she was ensuring there was irrefutable proof of his behavior. Lily watched, her small body trembling, but there was awe in her eyes. Her mother was fearless, unshakable, and willing to go to any lengths to protect her. Anna had become the embodiment of courage. Finally, after a tense standoff, Mark slumped into a chair, exhausted from his own emotional turbulence. Anna stayed close, maintaining control without needing to raise her voice or use force beyond containment. "You're done here," she said. "We've documented everything. The authorities know. Your control is gone. Understand that?" Mark's jaw clenched. He wanted to argue, to fight, but the truth was unavoidable. The meticulously documented evidence, Anna's unwavering presence, and the knowledge that every neighbor, every professional, and every camera recorded his actions had cornered him completely. Anna released his arm, taking a step back, but never losing sight of him. "If you ever come near Lily again, you'll regret it. Not because I threatened you, but because the law will take care of it, and I will make sure you cannot touch her again." Mark said nothing, defeated in silence. His usual bluster, his threats, his manipulation, all of it dissolved under the weight of Anna's resolve. Later that night, Anna sat with Lily in the quiet of her bedroom. The adrenaline faded, replaced by exhaustion and relief. "You're safe now," Anna whispered, stroking her daughter's hair. "I promise. Nothing can hurt you again. Not while I'm here." Lily nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You're so brave, Mom." Anna smiled, though her heart was still heavy. "Bravery is not the absence of fear, Lily. It's standing up even when you're scared. And we were scared, but we did what had to be done." The following days brought a mixture of relief and consequences. Mark faced legal action, was restricted from contacting Lily or Anna, and had to attend mandatory counseling sessions. The authorities were impressed by the meticulous evidence Anna had gathered. Though her life had been forever changed, Anna felt an unshakable sense of triumph. She had protected her daughter. She had reclaimed control. And in the process, she had shown Lily what courage truly looked like. Even in the quiet streets of Cedar Hills, where life returned to its suburban routine, the story of a mother's relentless love lingered in the shadows. A reminder that sometimes the fiercest battles are fought in silence, with patience, strategy, and unwavering devotion. Anna knew the storm was not over entirely. Life always had challenges. But she had faced the greatest one, and she had won. She had done what any mother would do when the safety of her child was on the line. She had become unstoppable. And as she watched Lily sleep, safe at last, Anna allowed herself a rare moment of rest, knowing that she had fulfilled her most important mission.